What is up, traders? My name is Heath and this is Trade Talk. So it is Saturday, which means it is absolutely time for the Crypto Weekly Outlook. So if you can look on my screen real quick, you can simply see that I did take a trade on Bitcoin this morning. It is a demo account. All right, this is the paper trading application from TradingView itself. And basically the reason that I took the trade was basically to show everybody how I look at these levels and exactly what I'm looking for when price does what it does. So if we go into an 8-hour time frame, you can see that Bitcoin has clearly been heading to the downside, not doing anything with any prior resistance levels and rolling over, right? So basically what I'm saying is when Bitcoin's doing this, it's a sell. You know what I mean? If you're trading it, I do not trade Bitcoin because I have enough assets to trade, and this would just be one more, so it doesn't really matter to me that much. However, the levels work on anything that has clear and good liquidity. All right. So if there's enough liquidity inside of a market, meaning someone asked me the other day on one of the messages in one of my videos in the comment section, does this strategy work with cryptos? Well, it works with cryptos as long as it's got enough liquidity inside of it. Like Bitcoin versus the dollar, yep, it's going to work. Ethereum versus the dollar, yep, it's going to work. When you start trading against Bitcoin on lower or less liquidity markets, like on Kraken, for instance, some of those markets have such thin liquidity that support and resistance levels do not get tested so perfectly. All right, so give me 1 second here. I'm going to make sure everything's going good. What is up, everybody? Let me scroll up just a minute. Get all this stuff out of my way. What is up, Monique? Brett Armstrong, Ed, Jay Bradley, what's happening? Erin C, Tom, my man, everybody, what's happening? All right, so everything seems to be working just fine. I'm assuming everybody can hear me and you can see my screen and everything is kosher. So we're going to move on. All right, so basically, like I said, this is a demo account. You can see it. I don't know if you can see it. Yes, it looks like you can see that it is a paper account. I took it and I left it blank. Anytime you see any of my images when the stuff is blocked out, that is a live account. I don't care to show you on a paper account. So roughly this paper account has about a little over $550,000 in it. It's basically, I just took a 1% trade on Bitcoin, and the original position was 13 Bitcoins, I think. So let me go over here to a daily, and I'll show you why I became to get bullish on Bitcoin. So right here, you can clearly see a resistance level at 54394.00. So if I go up just a little bit, you can see when Bitcoin makes these daily bullish closures, that becomes your resistance level, right? You get multiple tests, but unable to close it daily back above it. That is resistance being tested and failing. So then you get moves like this. This was your last bullish close. So this was your new resistance level. So as you can clearly see, Bitcoin traded way above that level yesterday, or not yesterday, but on the March 24th candle, and then it traded down. You put in a low right here, so this low is your support until proven otherwise. All right, until proven otherwise. So, all right, sorry about the distractions, guys. I'm still working on getting this thing going on. What is up, Kimberly Wood? Welcome to the family. Thank you so much. All right, so basically, why was I not looking to sell this pop in price? If you followed any of my videos, you know that I'm always talking about in a downtrend, I look to sell pops in price. This was an actual legitimate pop in price, but I did not sell it simply because Bitcoin closed a daily candle above resistance. That is important. That is mucho important. So let's go down into a smaller time frame and I will show you what's going on. So this line right here, that is your daily resistance level. You can see it right here, just the closing price of that bullish candle. So as I go into an 8-hour time frame chart, you can see that when we came up into this area, this should have been a rejection. All right. Now I am going to get more in, I guess you could say, like I'm going to put a magnifying glass on my strategy moving forward, but I'm still working on those videos. But as of right now, like this candle right here would have been a legitimate sell point. And people that follow me and people that trade with me live every day, they understand why. All right. But however, this daily closure, this is an 8-hour time frame, but this candle was the daily that closed above this resistance level. So that then began to make me become extremely bullish on Bitcoin. So I simply took my daily resistance that should be now support. I moved that down just a little bit to find the 8-hour support level. Right here it is. This was the last bearish close, the last price that was able to close at the price point 54090. Once it put in this close, you can clearly see price moved above it until boom, you have this massive sell-off. So this coming into this, if the trend was going to continue to the downside, you should have been a test here and a rejection in a day or so, and it still could reject. However, this was a day trade. So you can clearly see that when we traded back down into that level, once we broke out, all right, we put in this doji and then a wick low. We tested this last support level. I got long with 13 Bitcoins, put my stop below the wick, all right, below the wick. But I did this on a 5-minute time frame. Let me go in here and show you what's going on. So right here is where I got my entry in, right here. So I didn't enter on this push into this line. I waited for all this price action. When this bearish candle pushed back down into, you got it, this 5-minute structure right there, I got long. Boom, stop loss right below there. It's a little bit lower than this because, you know, you got a bearish candle down here. So this could absolutely be support at 53861 spot 50. All right, so that's why I put that stop loss below that candle, because if Bitcoin trades lower than that at that point, excuse me, I want to get out of the trade. And you can clearly see that I wasn't the only one looking at this level this morning, because now the trade is going good. At the high of day, I took off way more than 2/3 of the position. It's just a paper account, but I still trade it the same way that I trade my real money accounts. And this thing is moving higher. So basically what I will do, since I took profit on it, I will move my stop up to break even, and then I will bring up this right here and show you the actual account history. And there it is right there. Boom. That was when I closed the position. All right. And you can also see that I'm not always winning every single trade. I opened this account at $100,000 when I made the video for TradingView and Oanda, and you can clearly see that it has doubled in size like 5 times, or not 5 times, but 3 times. So it's doing all right, even though I take losing trades. What new traders need to understand, it's not about winning every trade. It's about mitigating your risk. All right, so now that I've gotten over that, we're going to go into some other crypto pairs, and we're going to look at some possible levels for the week to come. Hello, Kimberly. What's up, FD? Crypto Amado. Hello, I found Bug BTC Exchanger. I posted a video. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but we'll move on. Is this spam? Yeah, it looks like spam. I mean, I don't really care though. I'm not that hardcore. All right, so let's move on. So Bitcoin, obviously, I'm looking for it to move higher. I mean, it doesn't have to. Like I said, I don't trade this asset. I only buy it. And I'm sitting really pretty on it. So, I mean, it can literally fall 30% and it doesn't hurt me. And that's the way you need to learn how to trade. You need to trade with money you don't care to lose. So, basically, yeah. All right, so moving forward, what are we going to be watching for on Bitcoin? So, let's go into the daily real quick and see if there's any legitimate areas above it. Not quite. I mean, you could call this level right here an old support level, and it is being tested once again. All right, so that was your last bearish close until you took it out. You have not been able to close a bullish candle above that price just yet. That price is 55627 spot 50. All right, if this daily candle closes above, then this support will, in my opinion, be busted, and we will be looking for more entries to the bullish side on Bitcoin. Now, I told everybody in the chat room this morning that, obviously this could be a bull trap because it closed up here, but simply stating the fact that this candle has tested support and moved higher, it is proving it that it is not a bull trap. Can Bitcoin find resistance moving up from here? Absolutely it can. This level, 55627 spot 50, is the level you will be watching today for the rest of the day. There is 2 hours and 47 minutes left on this daily candle. So that will tell you if this level is still acting as resistance or not. Meaning, if Bitcoin closes below that level, then that will be a daily test of old support, now resistance, and it is holding. And that's only if your close is below that level. All right? If the close is above the level, then you can consider that a break above old support or resistance. So looking forward to that. Now, the very next level that catches my eye would obviously be this level up here because it is your last closing price. When price is trading up underneath of these areas, they become resistance. So that will be your next area to look at for a possible test and hold. 57620. All right, that's this level here. It's simply the last bearish closing price. Now, I will be watching the opening price of this bullish candle to act as resistance, but it's so close to this level, I like this level better. All right, so I'll just leave it like that. But Bitcoin looks good. Obviously, Bitcoin is bullish. Nobody needs to worry about Bitcoin taking a dump here. Not that I think, anyways. It's just my opinion, not trading advice. Jonathan Terry, hey Heath, JTFX from CTM, glad to be here. What's up, Jonathan Terry? Thank you for showing up, my friend. What's up, Matt Thompson, Mindy A, Ruben, South Brooklyn Lamato, what's happening? And Jay Bradley. I'm reporting the spam. I don't know if it worked or not. Yeah, you can bounce them, man. You are a mod. So if people come in here and ask us to go to watch other videos, you can absolutely bounce them. That's the very definition of spam. All right, so moving forward, ETH, nope, not ETH XBT. We will get into that. Not that one neither. We want Ethereum versus the dollar. All right, so basically you can clearly see right here that we have a level right here. It's the closing or the opening price of this bearish candle. All right, since you left this area, this was your support because this was the last close that it made in the move up. You did get that explosion off of that level. We have now came back into this area and tested it. It wasn't a perfect, beautiful test, but it was close enough to be considered a test. Now, I do not know why that is there because we use wicks as targets, but it's probably an 8-hour level or something. So let's go into the 8-hour time frame and see why that was there. I do not see. All right, so this is your last support zone right here, right? Because that's your last bearish close before you got another bearish close beneath it. So this level, when it pushes up into there, will obviously be treated as resistance. However, you have this first hurdle to get above right here on at least an 8-hour closing basis. That level is 1721 spot 13. All right. It's simply the opening price of this bearish candle. It should be exactly the same price as the bullish close, but it is not because, well, welcome to crypto. That's that no liquidity thing I was talking about earlier. As this market trades 24/7, there should be no gaps. But you do get gaps on illiquid markets. So that is going to be your resistance. You are testing that as of right now. 1721 spot 13. All right, so if this wants to roll over from here, I am not so bullish on this, all right, because you still haven't broke that. Now, you did close this up here, but there is no bullish candle in the mix right here on the daily time frame. That absolutely matters because since you broke below this support right here, you have not made an up close candle until this one. So this is going to be an 8-hour support or resistance at this point. And since there are no bullish daily candles on Ethereum, we have to use the 8-hour chart. And right here you got, this is going to be your first resistance level. If you are unable to close above that, that still means you will be trading inside of the range of this big bearish candle. Okay, let me pull this up here. So that is your low end support. You are range bound. You get a closure above that level, then you can look for pullback tests to get long. As long as you're closing below resistance, it is not a buy. So Bitcoin is stronger than Ethereum right now, but Ethereum seems to be making its way higher. And with technical analysis, this is just technical analysis, the way that I view the markets, the way that I trade the markets. As of right now, Ethereum is not a buy for me. All right, it can be for you. It's all good. What I want to see, if it fails here and rolls over, this candle's too close, and unfortunately there is no, right here's a good spot. This is a 4-hour spot, so we will check that line. 1630 spot 70. If Bitcoin is not able to close above this on an 8-hour closing basis, we will be looking for this area right here at 1630 spot 70 to hold as support. As long as you're not closing 4-hour candles below that level, and especially below the low or the closing price of this bearish candle, you are still golden for pushes higher. Unfortunately, there is no intraday trade or intra-week trade until this thing finds clear support. Since it has down here, it has to also find support on the move up. It can't just have a move up, because this is still going to be looked at as a selling opportunity for anybody like myself, meaning people that do this for a living. All right, this is still a selling opportunity. Would I be taking this as a sell trade? Absolutely not, because Bitcoin has already broke above and tested its old resistance into new support and is moving higher. So I would be looking at this as going to break, possibly. All right, it doesn't work on ETH because that's what they're doing with Bitcoin, but the algos and bots from big firms and people with a lot of money have these things generally programmed pretty close to the same, so you can look for a test up there to that 8-hour level. Let's get off the 4-hour market or the 4-hour time frame, because I was only looking for a level to look for support test, and that is this one right here. I am assuming that eventually, could be tonight, could be tomorrow, eventually Ethereum will be testing the 1765 spot 80 level as resistance. All right, and at that point, if that happens, then you can look for buying opportunities on Ethereum, and you can look for this first area right here at 1693. Now it is getting a little bit lined up, but that's pretty much it. This is your 4-hour support level. This is if it fails here. All right, if it goes on up, tests this level as resistance, then you look for a support test here at 1692 spot 73. All right, even if it fails, this area would be my next area to watch for support. All right, you get that 8-hour closure, in my opinion, you probably will not be testing this area, because if you do, then something else is going on. And any kind of bad news can come out after this stream is over and long gone and cause this thing to fall off the rock. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the markets. None of us are wizards. We do not have a crystal ball. We can only look at technical analysis and take the high probability trades. As of right now, this morning, Bitcoin was your high probability trade, and you can see that that trade clearly worked out beautifully. As of right now, Ethereum is still not a high probable trade. It's got to break above and close above this oh so important 1721 spot 13 level. Let me check out these things. Good afternoon. What is happening, Tom? Oh yeah, yep. Would you look at stock can? Yeah, I will, Mike Z. Just give me 1 second to go over the most important pairs that I'll be looking at, and I will look at that. Looking forward to this. He finally made it live, but catching up. Ha. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. I learned a lot. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. All right, so .USD. .UST is basically doing the same thing. It has found support. All right, let's go over here and tack you up to your support right there. Why is that support? Because that's your last bullet or your last bearish closing price. That's the last time .USD was able to close an 8-hour at 28 spot 75. If you use these support and resistance levels, you take subjectivity out of the matter. There is no subjectivity to that. We know for 100% certainty that this asset has not been able to close a bearish candle below 28.75. That is why it is your support. And you can see on 1, 2, 3 tests of that level, you were unable to close an 8-hour candle below. Buyers stepped in, and now you are moving higher. Unfortunately, you are not moving high enough. This still is not a high probable trade to the upside just yet, but it is working on it. All right. You didn't even find resistance here. You just found this wick. Boom. Right there. And price is starting to roll over. So this is not nearly as strong as Bitcoin. What you definitely want to see, if you get a test of this level right here, 29.76, look for that area to hold as your new support. If you hold there, then you could take a possible long entry targeting this wick high only, because that is your resistance. That's why I target these areas only, and then remove 2/3 of my position just in case it can't break back above that. You got to trade off. You made money. You can move on and wait for the next setup. So that level is 33.13. Moving forward, let this thing figure out what it wants to do. You get an 8-hour closure above that level, then you can look for support holds on a retest. This is going to be the first level because you haven't broke above yet. All right. Now there is stuff over here. All right. You can use it if you so choose, but once you got all this nonsense right here, in my opinion, you took out this and this and this. So you are trading inside of this range right here. Boom. So from this to this is a range. Now you can take high probable entries inside of these ranges. You just got to wait on the right scenario. As of right now, this thing does not look nearly as strong as Bitcoin. Longer term, if you pull up a daily, you can clearly see that it is in a bull trend. All right. There is your perfect test of your last daily closure there and there. Boom. All right. That's why people bought it. And you are moving higher. So there is your daily support that you have, or resistance that you're going to have to get above before this thing looks better. Until it's up there, yep, I wouldn't be messing around with it. Now, can it go up there? Absolutely it can. It looks like it's trying to right now with this daily wick, especially since it's closing, or closing in 2 hours. But like I said, until you get above these two areas right here, you are just range bound. All right. Daily closure above 34.36. I will be looking for bullish entries on .USD. I don't think there's anything on Algo. I mean, it is pushing higher, but it's basically the same thing. Now, let's get rid of these lines because I do see something that I like. So this was your support. You took that out here, made a new support. You're trading higher. Come on, TradingView. All right, so this was going to be resistance, this last bearish or bullish candle, but as you can see, you did close above that and you are moving higher. So if price comes back down, look to see if you get a support hold at 1.1115. See if this area holds a support. Let's see what the area looks like on an 8-hour. Yeah, I mean, technically, I would use this one, but that's your daily level. Daily holds more weight. All right, so use that level, 1.1115. You do not want to see a daily closure below that. All right, as long as you're closing a daily candle above that, you might be looking for bullish entries, and you could target this resistance up here at 1.2899. At that point, I would expect a bounce to the downside. All right, so I'm pretty sure a lot of these things are going to be moving like that. Comp is not looking strong at all. Balancer looking decent. You are still making higher highs and higher lows on this thing. This thing is bullish, all right? Very, very bullish. You don't even have to use this support down here as you tested this support, found support, and you're moving higher. So what you want to see, I don't really like this because we did blast through it. However, there is nothing here for us to use, so in that case, we will use it. You have already tested it, and it looks like you're moving higher. There's probably something on an 8-hour. Yes, there was, right above it. So there you go. There was your resistance. It was support until this candle broke below it. Once this candle broke below it, this then became resistance. We traded up into it, and then boom, you got your 8-hour closure above it. You have already came back down and tested it, and you have already taken out the high of this 8-hour bearish candle that would be considered a CTM entry. Stop below the wick of this candle, and you would be looking for a 2-to-1 trade up to this 8-hour bullish candle's opening price at 58.51. That would be a pretty nice risk to reward, in my opinion. All right. Yeah, the midpoint of this candle will offer up possibly some kind of a little bit of resistance, but as long as you're not closing an 8-hour candle back below 50.688, this thing is probably going to test 58.51. All right, and that's Balancer. It's extremely bullish. Extremely bullish. You could slap a trend line on this thing if you want to. Use that last wick right there. Tack it to this wick. And you can see that you haven't been able to break below and close below that trend line. So until you do, possibly looking for bullish entries. All right, let me check out these comments. Everybody grab a drink. Now, I was checking out KuCoin this morning. There's a lot of stuff going absolutely bananas on KuCoin. Like, I don't even know what a lot of these things are, but there's obviously stuff to do. I think I just literally put a little bit of Bitcoin in this thing just to see. So here's what I would have to be. This is what I'd be able to trade against. You can see ANKR is up 21% on the day. 23% right here on NA. I know we have a member that is loving that. This one's up pretty good too. So there's a lot of stuff that is strong versus Bitcoin. They're just not on Kraken's brokerage and other ones like Coinbase. Some of these things I've never even heard of. But there's a lot of bullish. This one's up 42%. That's COV BTC. So, yep, I will be getting into that because I do have funds on that account now. And I will be looking to take trades here in a few weeks once I get everything situated. And let's go look at Cardano. Cardano versus USD. Got a nice bullish push. All right, off your support. Right there was your support. You found it. You are moving higher. This last bullish close right here, and this one even, was your last resistance. You did break above it. However, you did close back below it. So what you can do in a situation like this is you just find the next area would be support, would be your last bullish close. Tested it already. All right, so let's see what happens. You get an 8-hour closure below 1.156 right here. You will be heading lower to test this bearish candle's closing price at, or opening price, apologies, at 1.098 right here. So if this keeps continuing lower, look for a support test at this level. In my opinion, if this is going to remain bullish, as you did get a nice pop from down there, as long as this isn't just a lower high being sold into, you should find support here. All right. But it's basically sideways. So these candles are basically trading within inside of themselves, meaning if you put this on a higher time frame chart, like a weekly, you will see that you are still trading with inside of the closing price of this bearish candle and the opening price of this bullish candle. The closing price of this bullish candle. So that's your two bodies. You're still trading within that. Essentially, you are range bound. All right. I don't like trading range bound stuff. I like things to make clear, obvious directional turns, taking out supports and resistance levels, so that way you can get a high probable trade setup. I don't see a high probable trade setup on ADA. I guess if you hold this level right here, that would be a high probable setup. At 1.11531 on a daily closing basis, right there is your support. So you can trade all the way down to there, and still, as long as you're not closing below that level, you're still in good shape, as this is a higher low. All right, even if you use the wick low here and this wick low, this is a higher low, and you did get a higher close. So I would only be looking for bullish entries on Cardano. Looks good. Looks good. Watch 1.115531 on a daily closing basis. If you're closing above that, look for bullish entries. Ave not looking as good. You can clearly see that you're making lower highs and lower lows. This was your low here. You've taken that out. So is this going to be another lower high? We don't know. We have to wait and see. All right. But what you can do moving forward is you can watch to see if you get a support hold at 330 spot 50. If you push down into this support, might be an entry, and I would only be targeting your next area of resistance. All right. I think that would offer up a 2-to-1 risk to reward if you could get your stop underneath this wick if it puts one in, targeting this level right here at 384 spot 47. That would put your risk to reward in favor of the bullish direction. You close the daily back below that level, you're coming back down here to test 308-ish spot 52 level. This close of this bearish candle. How did you figure last close on daily? I didn't get support line you put. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Mindy A on dot. How did you figure the last close on daily? Let's go back to dot real quick so I can see what you're saying. Let me get rid of all the lines. Yeah, just put how did you figure last close on daily? Right here's your daily candle. Your yesterday's candle, and that's your close right there. 33 spot 12. All right. That's your close. You have pushed up, but you're not making higher highs yet. You're making lower highs and lower lows. So I wouldn't be looking for bullish entries on this. Your next support level is going to be the opening price of this bearish candle at 30 spot 23 right here. Let me see if I'm dropping frames. Yes, I am. So if I get dropped off, I apologize in advance. For some reason, I'm dropping a lot of frames, and I cannot fix it. So we're going to keep moving, and hopefully it fixes itself. All right, so DOT right here. Yeah, this is going to be your area of support. Your last bullish close was there, so I'm not exactly sure what you're asking, and I appreciate you're asking, but I just don't understand what you're asking me. Apologies. Moving on. Let's see. We already did. Let's go look a link. Link's been very weak, but you did hold support here, but you're range bound. All right. So this doesn't look bullish to me, in my opinion. This until you get above your last area of resistance, which is right there. I would probably use, well, no, because when it gets so close and tight like this, yeah, this is it right here. You can see on an 8-hour time frame, you're not able to close above that last 8-hour bullish candle's close, which is right there. That is your current resistance, and it is holding so far. You haven't tested it yet, so I don't like link. Moving on. In order for me to even look at link, it's going to have to start closing 8-hour candles above 27 spot 56, and in that instance, I would start to look for bullish entries on link, but it is still range bound. All right, let me see what's going on over here, because now it says I got excellent connection, but I'm just shuts off real quick, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize in advance, but so far it looks like it's holding up. We're gonna roll out. And BNB, I know BNB was doing some fantastic stuff, but it has been trading range bound. Let's get rid of all these levels and start new. You did find an area of support. That area of support was your last bearish closing candle. Right there it is. All right, I'll stretch it out and show you what I'm talking about. When you traded up and you put in your last lowest bearish closing candle, the opening price of that bearish candle will act as support. You can clearly see a phenomenal, beautiful test right there, and you traded higher. But since you've been basically range bound to down and you tested it again, and it held as support again. All right. This 8-hour closure right here did not close back above this resistance level. This is your last 8-hour bullish close. So if this candle closes in 2 hours above this level right here, then you can look for bullish entries moving forward, and there's a beautiful level of support, or a level to look at to see if it holds as support. These don't always hold as support or resistance. You have to let price show you what it's finding as resistance or support. All right, so don't just blindly buy a test of 255 spot 102. You want to make sure that that level is holding as support. All right, you can look at an hourly chart if you wish. Make sure you're not closing hourly candles below that level, because if you are, you're going to be testing the closing price of that bearish candle to see if it. But this is absolutely good. All right, as long as you close above 262 spot 64 in the next 2 hours, this will be golden. All right, that would be a beautiful spot to look for an entry. If this throws up a wick and then closes back below 262 spot 64, I would not be expecting this area to hold up. All right, because that would be an epic failure. You do have several areas of resistance. Boom, 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 right there. But if enough people got in this thing, it's going to move higher, and it should blast right through all that stuff. This is very, very constructive. I am going to set an alert for this thing because I'm going to watch it. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'll set the alert, but yeah, I don't even think I can trade it on KuCoin either. So that alert is useless. But it looks good for anybody who can trade BNB USD on Binance. All right, looks good. Watch that level right there. If this thing catches support at 255 spot 102, obviously you got all this stuff to deal with, but those give you areas to look for. Take profit. You know what I'm saying? Take your profits ahead of those levels. Move your stops to break even and look forward. And that's pretty much it. Let's go look at No for real quick because, oh my God, this thing is just going off. This is NOIA. I know she's extremely happy about this. The last time we were talking about it, it was doing all this stuff right here. So big explosive move off of the support level. Came in, found support right there. Right where we would expect it to find support. It did find support. Once you took out your resistance here, that was your buying opportunity. And boom. But it was trading sideways for a very long time, even after it exploded to the upside. But you can see right now, it is not trading sideways anymore. Let's go look at a weekly on this to see if there's anything. Nope, not enough data. It looks like you are trading at all-time highs on whatever data feed this is. Yeah, this is extremely strong. This is extremely bullish. This is a weekly area, so you can see if you close a weekly back below this level right here. All right. Use your last bullish, your highest bullish close as your area right there. So if this candle closes tomorrow, 3 hours from, well, tomorrow in 3 hours, so 27 hours basically, you want to see that weekly close above 0.51, this level right here. If you do, it's extremely constructive and bullish. You can see how these, yeah, that's a breakout. So kudos to you for holding that thing and all that choppy mess right through here. You did fantastic. Fantastic. And then it looks good against Bitcoin too, but it's not nearly as strong. You do have resistance right above it on a weekly basis at 1252 Satoshis. You have tested it, but you have not been able to break above and hold above it. So that's what you want to see if you're trading it versus Bitcoin. But I do believe, if I am correct, you were trading it versus Tether. So you're in good shape. All right, now let me go back over here and answer some questions. Oh, and one last thing. I did take a trade on Litecoin. That trade is still doing extremely good. Let's go into a daily so you can see today's Bitcoin bullishness. That's linked. That ain't even the right one. Today's bullishness on Bitcoin is helping pushing this thing lower. This level right here at 3158 Satoshis, I would expect a huge bounce from if price gets down there. All right. I don't know if it will, because you can clearly see we are trading below all these wick lows. And if I extend price out, you can see that, yeah, that's going to be a very important level. All right. That is basically your your last closing price on a weekly time frame. It's never been back. So on a weekly bearish candle. So that's why I'm watching it, because that price is probably going to have a ton of buy orders sitting at it. So I will be exiting this trade completely at that point, and then I will look for a resistance test higher to see if it wants to roll back over, and at that point I would be targeting the low of this asset. But we will see. If Bitcoin keeps moving up, this thing is going to keep moving down as long as people are selling the guts out of it. Litecoin hasn't looked good for a long time. Has not looked good at all. BNB is on fire. Yeah, it has been on fire, Timothy. Absolutely, it's killing it. What's up, Giles Madley? Thank you for showing, or Maddie, Giles. We'll just call you Giles. Giles is a very, very admin member in the CTM. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything real quick. What's up, Carl? Theta. Let's go look at Theta. Let's go give it a look-see. Look at it on Binance. Yep, absolutely blasting off. Last time we looked at this, I had levels here and here. I don't know why. Let's go see why. But yeah, you are clearly breaking out. This thing is extremely extended. But in a bullish market, things can stay extended as long as there's buyers at these higher prices. All right. I think that's an 8-hour level. Yeah, it is an 8-hour level. So we were looking for this area to hold a support. It kind of did, but that's not the exact bounce you wanted to see since I put this level in. I don't know when it was. It could have been Wednesday. I'm going to assume that it was Wednesday. So you made resistance there. So this is where you got to get an 8-hour closure above this level right here at 13.12. All right, so this is range bound until you get above that or below that on an 8-hour closing basis. I don't like the fact that it made a lower low or a lower high and is starting to make lower closing candles. That generally means that as of right now, they're aiming back. It's aiming back at the last support level. So this was your last bearish close at 11.22. So that level will come in to act as support. However, you must wait to see if it closes above that level because buyers have to get really aggressive here to push it higher. It could be a good area to look for a test as I just don't like it. I don't like the price action. But it happens all the time. I mean, it is a pennant pattern. You can clearly see that. It's not bearish. I mean, this is your last bearish close and you have not closed below that. So you're still bullish. Absolutely bullish. Would I be trading it? I don't know, man. It's extremely extended. It's kind of a new asset too. It doesn't have a ton. Oh wait, no, it does have quite a bit. It's just this breakout has been insane. Let's just see what that is. That's like 1,600% move. Yeah, I'd be taking profits. 1,600%. Yeah, that's extremely extended. But it has been even over here. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you on this thing, man. Stuff like this is going to be extremely volatile, so it's kind of hard to trade it. But if you're in it and you're bullish, man, good for you. Killing it. Plan B 288,000 2021. Doug Rose says Bitcoin's going to hit $288,000 because of the Plan B chart. I don't hold anything against Bitcoin. I am bullish on Bitcoin. I don't have any price targets as far as outside of what's the chart showing as far as support and resistance right now. There is no way to make targets for all-time highs unless you use like a fib extension tool. Yeah, it's hard to get price targets on things like this or on Bitcoin. Yes, they are extremely bullish on it, and I like the Plan B's data. They have a lot of nice charts, and it has been holding to it. So it has been holding to it. Very, very bullish. Can you check Uni and VET, VET, VeChain? Yeah, let me go look at Uni real quick. Or I think I got Uni right here. Well, I already pulled it up. Let's check it out. Go look at it on Coinbase. Yeah, so these are your current levels that you're looking for on Uni, not this one. This one is old. So this was your resistance, but you can clearly see that you tested that area as resistance and you could not close a daily candle above it. So now your resistance is 33.25 right here. All right. This right here, this did make a higher high, but you did close below your support level. You should have found support right there if this was going to move higher from there. You did not. So once you broke below that, you are currently testing it to see if it holds as resistance. If it does, you're going to be testing 25 spot 71, looking for resistance, and then ultimately I would be bringing my target down to 23 spot 59. If you get a daily closure back below this level right here, will this area hold? That was some pretty good selling coming into that level. And this is your first dead count bounce, so to speak, if you want to call it that. This is profit taking. This is professional traders shorting up here, taking profits ahead of their next area of support. That's why you get these bounces. All right. But if they're going to remain bearish, they're going to be selling anything lower than 29 spot 806 on a daily closing basis. If you cannot close a daily candle above that, they will hammer this thing again, and they will be aiming again for 25 spot 71, and ultimately they will be aiming for this level right here at 23 spot 572 right there. And by the time that happens, you will have a nice weekly range expansion. Oh, we'll be waiting on next week to see what happens. Here is going to be your ultimate support level. You lose that bearish close, this thing is heading lower. But as of right now, I think you have enough levels to hold you off. All right, you definitely need to get a daily closure back above 29 spot 806. Or, like I said, whoever was selling up here is going to hammer home again, because this to them is a wounded animal, and they are lions. They look to eat stuff like this. I do too. Right now I'd be looking at with a short bias on this asset, but just for near-term targets. This is nothing more than a dead cat bounce. If you had some consolidation and yada yada, and then a big explosive bullish candle, then you could be looking for bullish entries. But this right until you get above 29 spot 806. I have to say that over and over again. You get above that on daily closing basis, then you can look for bullish entries. But until that happens, this thing is bearish, and it is looking for 25 spot 713 and then 23 spot 57 right there. So that is the short range targets. I mean, it is still above a trend line. You can see it with your bare eyes. You don't actually have to put one on there. But if you did, use that low and that. But I don't like that. It's too close. Let's see what we got with this. No, you are below it. So even then, they're going to be looking to sell that on a technical break below that. Yeah, I wouldn't be looking for bullish entries on this thing until it finds support. You must let it find support. This is not a support find, in my opinion, because this is just a dead cat. Legitimate. Wait for like a 3 or 4 day range to not be able to close below. Then you can look for bullish entries. As long as it's doing this, this is a bearish. Not bearish. It's not. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. People are looking to sell it. The risk is to the downside, in my opinion. Oh, you were trading against Bitcoin, Kimberly? It had such a nice move. I would think about it. Let me go see what it looks like. I didn't really pay attention because I thought you were trading it against. Whatchamacallit, the dollar. In AIO? No, I can't even remember the damn ticker. Let me go find it on this. It's up really big, so it should be right here somewhere. NIAO or something like that. I didn't really analyze it for you. Let me go find it. Let me try it. Just typing in NAIO or NAIO, NAIO, NOIA. There it is. I knew it was something like that. There's Bitcoin. Yeah, you got a nice pop. Oh, so you were probably in it down here because this has still been trading. But that bullish pop out of the dollar also brought this up as well. So you're doing good. Would have taken profits if it would have been me. Not absolutely would have taken some money off the table just so that way you can pay yourself for holding through all this. This was your last bullish close until you got this one. So this is going to be now your area to look for a support test. If this thing is going to remain bullish, it must not close a daily candle below 923 Satoshis. All right, Kimberly? If you get that daily closure, you might want to look or think about this thing coming lower. But as long as it's closing above that level, well, ultimately, your first area of support is going to be 886, but it's going to come test 805, and that's only if it gets back below there. This looks good. This looks good. You see this closure right here on this bullish candle? You closed above your last bullish candle right there. That's nothing but good. And then you can see with this wick lower, it retested that level, and then boom. That was your explosion to the upside. Everybody bought right there. Everybody did. And that's why you got such a big move off of it. And remember, Bitcoin is moving higher too. So as of right now, this thing is stronger than Bitcoin. It's had a nice move. See if it holds support. Look in smaller areas, smaller time frame charts to find bearish candles to look for support tests and holds. But ultimately, those two first, this level and this level is going to be your daily levels. This is just a 4-hour level. So if you get a 4-hour closure below that, it's coming back down to test that daily level again for support. It may found support up here, though. It may not even come test this level. Just don't chase price. Let price show you. I would be watching 1070. See if it holds there support. But good for you. Good for you on that. That was a great trade. Price predictions for STORJ. I don't know what that is, but I will see if I can find it for you. And then I must say, I do not make price predictions. Other YouTubers make price predictions. I'm telling you it's either going to go higher or lower and giving you levels to look for to base your trading decisions upon. Price predictions on this thing is, well, as of right now, it's extremely bullish. No one can predict price. You can find levels and guesstimate that price is going to go there, and sometimes you're going to be right, but it doesn't always work, and that's why you got to mitigate risk. First level to test. Oh, this is a 4-hour. Let's go see what we got on daily. Probably nothing. 8-hour. Nothing. So let's use the 4-hour. All right. First area to look for a support test is 2.21. This level here. All right. You close below that. Your next area to look for support. Why doesn't this thing grab that? Right there. 1.161. You get a 4-hour closure below this level. This level is going to be tested, and then this level. As long as you're closing 4-hour candles above 2.2193, I would be targeting this. All right, that's it. Nothing more. I would be targeting that wick high because that's the risk to reward. You take profits once that happens, move your stop to break even, and if it continues to move higher, then that is icing on the cake for you, my friend. But to mitigate your risk, if you do get this support test at 2.2193, I would only be aiming for this right there. It looks good. It's bullish. I mean, you have a big bullish explosion. You got a rounded bottom and then another bullish explosion. So look for the same thing. Look for it to find support. That level or this level right here. These are your two areas to watch to see if it holds support. You do not want to see a 4-hour closure below that. Otherwise, you're coming down here. So if you do get that 4-hour closure below these two lines, do not expect it to hold support there. That will be the next test. But eventually, it will probably test this one. That would probably be a nice spot as long as it holds a support to target that wick. And that risk to reward would be much better down here. So I hope that helps. But we cannot predict price. The people that are giving you price predictions are not professional traders. They're just making flash. You have a stop shorting Litecoin. I'm long on it. Yes, Mindy. I am short on Litecoin. I have been short on Litecoin. I am short with a cost basis of I'm not signed into Kraken. Damn it. Alright, exactly where I'm short, but I know about where I'm short. I got short when we retested this level here at 3743 Satoshis. When we made this bullish breakout, once we closed back below what should have been holding as support, it did not. As soon as price pushed back up into that level, I got short. And I have been holding it ever since. The position is currently up 13.78%. And I do have my risk. My risk is gone. It's off the table. I've taken profits and my stop is better than break even. So this thing can go as low as it wants to go if it wants to continue lower. But that's versus Bitcoin. I am not short Litecoin versus the dollar. All right? If you have a long on Litecoin versus the dollar, you're probably still in good shape. I'm not short on that. Let's see what Litecoin versus the dollar. Yeah, it looks okay. You're in good shape. Don't sweat it. I was short versus Bitcoin because I'm long Bitcoin. So I'm just basically trying to, I'm basically trying to stack Satoshis, as everybody says. I'm basically new to trading crypto versus Bitcoin. I just opened the account not too long ago. This looks good. I mean, you found support higher than your old support level. Right here was your old support level at 165.72. You did trade higher. You have so far made a higher low. You didn't even test this complete support level. You basically just tested the up end of the support level. So that support zone, so to speak. And you are making a bullish move higher. You are currently testing that bullish candle. It is a doji. I do not like dojis. Let's go see if we can find something on an 8 hour. Oh yeah, this is going to be your last resistance. So you need to get an 8 hour closure above this level right here because this bearish candle closed below it. All right, so this is your level. You are currently testing it. An 8 hour closure above that level would be absolutely good in my opinion. Then you can look for higher low support to form somewhere else, possibly around 180, 185, around these two bearish candles. But that's only after this thing closes up here above 185.58. As long as it's closing below that level, this is a rejection of resistance, and it's probably heading to 171.97. It does look bullish. I mean, long term, it's bullish. Longer term, let's see if you can get a trend line support. I don't know if you can, but we'll see if you can. Wrong one. I'm doing it wrong. Yeah, it looks like you've broke below it, but you're going right back above it. So that's good. That's good. You did close back above it, but you do want to see that get it. This daily closure's got to get above this doji, in my opinion. You came back down and tested this level, and you're moving higher. That's good. You see what I'm saying? As of right now, buyers got aggressive along that trend line. This was, as of right now, a bear trap because you did get that closure below, but now you are immediately leaving the area. So it is more bullish than bearish. If you are unable to close daily candles and make higher highs, I would assume that eventually you're coming back down to test at least this level right here, 175.79. It looks constructive. This was so far a bear trap. You did get your close above already. Your retest, you are moving higher. It looks okay. So the next area that I would be looking for resistance would be this level right here, 199.65. You get in a daily closure above that level, look for higher low support, target this level right here, 199.65. That would be a nice intra-week range. All right. What else? But hopefully you're not long on Litecoin versus Bitcoin because that thing has been doing nothing but going down. Should you sell one? Let's go look at one. What was the ticker? Yeah, I don't know the ticker to one. People have been talking about it. You want to drop the whole ticker for me? That would be great. Is it on KuCoin? Let me see if I type one in KuCoin, see if that pulls something up. There you go, 1 USDT. Harmony. Should you sell Harmony? Depends on where you got in, my friend. Where did you get in? If you could tell me where you got in, I'll tell you what you should do, or what I would do. Not what you should do, but what I would do. That's for Killian. All right, so I'll tell you what it looks like right now. Right now, it's extremely bullish. Would I sell it? If I bought it at, say, 191, then yeah, I'd probably sell it. But if you bought it, like, say, at 8083, nah, you're still in good shape. You're still in good shape. You don't have to worry about it until you lose support. This is going to be support. 0.15511. You get a daily closure below that, then yes, on the attempt to push higher, but I wouldn't sell it as soon as you get that daily closure. What I would look for is a test of 0.17886, this level here, at which point I would assume that sellers would get reinitiated. That's when I would look to sell my position. All right. If you're in it from like way down here, I wouldn't even worry about it. You're still golden. All right. But if you're over leveraged and you're like losing money right now, then yeah, you need to get out of it. Because as of right now, it looks like it's wanting to test 0.15511. And that's probably, let's see how many. Yeah, that's a 9% move to the lower. A 9% move, close to 9% roughly. So can you hold a 9%? You know what I'm saying? It just depends on where you got in it. I mean, yeah. So it still looks bullish in my opinion. Like I said, this is your last area of support. Your area of resistance is up here. But if you get this daily closure below this bearish candle's closing price, then the next retest of 17886, I would assume that other people will take profits there as well. And also sellers will probably get involved as far as the short sellers. And they will be aiming ultimately for that wick low. All right. You do have another area right there. That's if you break down out of this area, that will come into play. That level is 0.11644. All right. This level here is your last daily bearish closing candle. That area will be tested if you close below there. You can find smaller areas if you can. I do not see any. That's a 4-hour chart. You don't even have any on it. Yeah. So on a 1 hour, I mean, it's still constructive. It's still not breaking below on a daily time frame. So you're still constructive. Basically what's happened is everybody's taking profits up here. Will they buy in right here? You have to let price tell you that. No one knows the truth. No one knows if it's going to, but if people are bullish on this asset, if they think it's got much further to go, they will be entering here or somewhere, wherever it finds support. These are your only levels. This is the level to sell. If you close where it is now or lower, you look to sell on that retest to be safe. And that's what I would do. We lost music, so let's go turn it back on. I can just barely get this thing. All right, so that's one USDT. I don't know if you're trading, if this is even what you're looking for, because you just said, should I sell one? Let me go see if you've re-entered in the chat. Thank you, Tom, for getting all over that guy. See ya, SS. Have a nice day. Yeah, I don't see it. If you hate on Bitcoin, you are wasting your time here. BTC breaking out. Who's hating on Bitcoin? No one's hating. Look, dude, I'm long Bitcoin right there. Boom. There's my stop loss. There's my entry. No one is hating on Bitcoin, my friend. I don't know if you're talking to me or someone else, but I took profits on this bullish move. You can see I'm holding 3 Bitcoins long right now. Yeah, I that must be directed to someone else. Nobody's wasting their time here. I promise you. Nobody. This channel is absolutely giving the best technical analysis on the interwebs. I take profitable trades almost every single day inside of the CTN chat room, and I give everything that I do for free on the YouTube channel. I do not hold back. Not selling courses. This channel is not a waste of time. Nobody's bearish on Bitcoin. This thing is breaking out. We already discussed that at the beginning of the video. So let me see what you guys want. Thoughts on Litecoin. I just kind of did that, but I'll go back and do it again. Litecoin looks okay versus the dollar. I am short Litecoin versus Bitcoin. and that trade has been working out good. You have a trend line right here that's just coming from this low here. I took this on a daily time frame. You did get your daily closure below it, but this bullish close back above it indicates this may have been a bear trap. All right. If this is a bear trap, you can clearly see that on a daily time frame, this trend line was retested again and price is moving higher. You do have current resistance at 185 spot 58 on Litecoin. You do need a daily candle above that. Closure above that. A daily close above that level. If you do not get a daily close above that level, you will be range bound from 185 to 171, and you will not have any high probable setup. All right. So what you want to see on Litecoin, if you're bullish versus the dollars, you want to see that daily closure above. Then you want to look for a higher low support to be formed. And I would say roughly around 175, spot 95. As long as you're holding support there, you can look for bullish entries targeting your next level of resistance at 199, spot 65. Thoughts on CRV, BTC. Ugh. All right. You held support. You're moving higher. You did close above your daily resistance. I'm assuming this thing doesn't have much liquidity in it. Let's just go down to a 15-minute chart. It's got a lot more liquidity in it than I thought it would have. Yeah, this thing's got enough liquidity in it. It's not beautiful, but it's a lot better than some other assets. Let's go look at it. I'll get you some levels, my friend. I'll get you some levels. So basically, obviously, your support is down here. You want to see no daily closures below 389 Satoshis. This, you could throw a trend line on there if you want to. I don't think you need to. Right here was your last resistance level. Let's throw this line on there. You can clearly see you got a daily closure above it. Then you failed. You are testing it again. So before I would look for bullish entries, is I would want to see this daily candle close above 518 Satoshis. If we close back below 518 Satoshis, this push higher and then sell off, this will be a failure. All right. And that will attract short sellers. They will have their stops above the wick high for this daily candle. But if it closes above it, what I would look for is I would look for a support test of 481 Satoshis. As long as you're unable to close a daily candle below that, that's where I'd possibly be looking for support to find or get found there, and then look for bullish entries on that. But it all hinges on what it does right now. Right now, this was a nice bullish push. You did find support from this big move right here. All right, this leg up, you did find support. This was a bear trap. You can clearly see it because you did close below. Come on, man. Below support. This one, please. This one. Thank you. You did close below support. Boom, 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 boom. And then you went right back out of that area. So people were shorting this. They were looking to go lower. It failed. You do have support right below it there too, but it didn't never test it. So are sellers re-engaging this? Absolutely they are. Will it go lower? I don't know. This daily candle is absolutely vital in my opinion. You get a daily closure above that, look for this area to hold a support. You close beneath this, it is going to test that and possibly all the way down here at 434 Satoshis because that is your next daily support level to test. But if I start throwing lines on all that stuff, it just gets a little bit barbaric right there. All right, so trade idea for tonight, possibly in tomorrow morning. Got to be above 518. If it's not, you do not have a bullish trade on your hand until you find support. It must find support. But it looks, I mean, long term, man, not doing much. Like you can see, it's on auto scale right here, just regular scale auto. It's been going down, down, down. You did get a push off of the lows, but that's it. This was your low, right? That was your low right there. Boom. Couldn't close below, couldn't close below, couldn't close below. The only other way to go is up. But like I said, you are heading higher. So the risk is to the upside currently. Use your weekly chart and make sure you don't close next week's candle below 441. That would just simplify it for you. You close a weekly candle below that. Don't even look for bullish entries on this thing anymore because the sellers are in control. They're in control. I'm not sure what you're looking for exactly, but hopefully that helps, man. Chills, says Dan. Let me go check it out. CHILZ. Oh, wait. Let me see what you got. CHILIZ. Tether. Let's go look at Tether first. Damn. There's another one of them massive, massive rips. Looks good. I already looked at this thing for somebody. There's a line here. Oh, I think I do remember. That's not the midpoint of that daily candle, though. I must have found that level on a smaller time frame chart. Yeah, it was a 4-hour. There it is. So I found it on a 4-hour. And I mean, it basically held. You never closed below it until you got over here. This was a bear trap because you're trading higher. But the risk is still to the downside as you've not cleared out any higher levels. So basically, let me get rid of this line because this line is no longer valid in my opinion. That is your resistance at 53808. You definitely need a 4-hour closure above that level. As long as you're testing it and failing to close above it, the risk is to the downside. Your very, very, very low support end is 47079. As long as you're trading within these two areas right here, you are range bound. And I would not look for bullish entries at, say, 50464 if it's unable to take this level out. Now, if you are able to take this level out, then I would look for bullish entries on higher low support tests. All right. And this would be your first area possibly at 51654. So let's just assume this thing is going to close above that level. Look for, when it comes back down into this level, to look for it to hold a support. But like I said, if you can't get above that, this level is nothing. Chances are, if you can't close above that, you're probably going to close below this as well. And then the risk is to the downside. They will be targeting 47079. So right in the bull's court, it is up to them to show you. Up to them to show you. I would sit back and wait on this important level to be taken out. Thoughts on XRP? I won't ask again. Please don't ban. Nobody's going to ban you for asking for a ticker, my friend. Nobody's going to ban you. XRP? They get banned when they spam, like, stuff. Like, their websites, their YouTube channels, or whatever. Then they get smoked. But if you're just asking for a ticker, I apologize for... I don't see everybody. Sometimes you just got to do it. So you're fine. You're good to go. I wouldn't trade XRP, but this is just me. The reason I won't trade XRP right now is simply because of the cloud that's overhanging its head. You can't even trade it on Coinbase. It's not even on Coinbase. You can't even trade it because that's SEC investigation. Now, with that being said, you have had a move up. So on all the other exchanges that XRP is still trading on, it's making higher lows. All right? You did make a high, well, not really. You did close higher than that, so yeah, you did. You found support, and you're moving off of support. This right here shows bullishness, and I'll tell you why. Because this was your test of your last area of support. You clearly held. They bought it. You got another close right here above resistance. All right? So what I would basically do is I would look on smaller time frame charts, looking for an area lower than it is right now to hold as support. First level that I'd be watching is 0.52098. Make sure you don't close a 4-hour below that. If you do close a 4-hour below that, you got one more right here that you can watch at 49795. If I was going to be looking for long entries, this would be my line in the sand. If you get a 4-hour closure below that level, I would no longer be looking for bullish entries on this thing, as the risk will be to the downside at that point. A failure to break out above resistance on a 4-hour time frame, but it's not bearish. All right, this isn't a failure. Not yet. This could just be a higher low support. They could have already bought it up. So basically, these are the two levels I would watch. Not this one down here, but let me get this up where I'm talking about, right here. I would watch these two levels for bullish entries. But remember, there's no Coinbase traders are trading this. So all the volume that Coinbase offers for XRP is not in this. So you're just trading it on what other exchanges that it is still trading upon. And that to me matters. It may not matter to you. Watch these two levels for bullish entries. This is your line in the sand, 49791. You close below that, you're heading lower. Simple ETH analysis, price targets next week for Million. What's up, Janice Swift? Aaron C, 128 watching, 83 likes. You know what to do, people. Thank you, Aaron, for that. Yep. If you guys want to like the video, that would be awesome. I thank you in advance. Hollow Hot says Juice. No, not Juice. Sorry, Smashy. Who's arguing? I'm arguing. Oh, whatever. Looks like somebody got bounced. I trust my mods, though. Let me look at Hollow for SMXSHY. I think I already got this, actually. Let me go over here. Where did I put it? Was it in the red ones? Right there it is. All right. So let me get off the 12 hour. This is calculated by TradingView, so it does look wicky. But it's bullish. It's bullish. This was your bull flag or pennant pattern, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a pattern trader. I only trade from candles. Basically, your next area to look for support hold would be this down here at 7668. That's what I'm going to call it. It's got a lot more numbers in there. I'm not going to spout them all off. Sound off. Not happening. So look for this area right here. This is a daily closing basis. I didn't see anything on an 8 hour or a 4 hour. These is going to be volatile, obviously, because it's had such a nice big bullish move. You got shorts looking to enter this. You got bulls taking profits. So what I would first look for, if next week, this level right here, you do not want to see this level break on a daily closing basis right here. Your ultimate low is right below it at 7269, right there. Close. That is your line in the sand going lower. All right, that's only if you get below that. You do have some other stuff over here to get below as well, but this is your last bearish candle since you made this bullish push. That's why this last bearish candle is important. So finding smaller areas, there is no target to the upside. If you do find support, I would simply be targeting the wick high, the very high. That's what I would be targeting, or at least the last bullish closing price, because you will find resistance there possibly. It could just shoot through it, but that's just a valid way to get risk to reward. All right, and targets. So obviously right off the rip, your first target is this level right here at 10, or let's just call it 10398. That's this last bullish 8 hour closure. So when it's like bullish like this coming into the weekly close, which is tomorrow, it kind of makes it difficult to find bullish targets. You're definite don't want to be looking for anything if you're looking to buy it once you get lower than that. As long as you're holding support at that level, you're good. Now there is a level down here that you can look for a support test, and it does get you underneath all of these wicks. So anybody that got long on these wicks would get stopped out. That'd be a pretty good spot to look for a support test and hold too. All right, and that would be the end of it for me. You close below that, you're heading lower, because this would not be just a stop run, test the support and move higher. You are literally moving lower at that point. But if you get a wick down to this level, like a price stop run, I like entering on stop runs as long as they are stop runs. It's hard to tell if they are or not, basically, until you get stopped out. Unfortunately, that's just the way trading works, man. People like to glorify this stuff on YouTube, and it's like, yak. What about STORJ BTC? Let me look at that. STORJ BTC. STOR, I forgot the J. Nice. Storage. I don't know what storage is. But damn, that thing is strong, man. There's strong. There's a lot of stuff on KuCoin that's extremely strong today too. This thing is absolutely on fire. There really isn't nothing to do, man. I mean, all right. So here's your first area to look for support. All right, 3,248 satoshis. See if you find support there. That would be my first area to look for support. There's nothing to do in all this bullishness here. If you buy it now, you are running a risk of getting stopped out. It is moving higher. I mean, this is absolutely bullish. You got a bullish pop. You broke above resistance. This was your resistance on a 4-hour time frame. You broke above that. You didn't even come back for a retest. You just bearish, and then boom. So this is extremely volatile. It's heading to the upside. First area to look is going to be that right there, 4058. That's on a smaller time frame. This is where I would look on a bigger time frame, obviously. Your small time frame levels, like if you're looking for a long entry to get long like tonight or tomorrow, you do not want to see 4-hour closures below this or this bearish candle. I would rather use this one because it's the last bearish candle's opening price. That's where I would be targeting to look for a support test. All right. Plus, it puts it next to your last area of support before it must find your next support. So, I mean, it's extremely difficult to trade it. Would I trade this right now? Absolutely not. I do not chase price. I wait for my setups. I let my setups come to me and I strike them with lightning precision. Lightning precision. Let me show you this picture real quick. All right, this is the pound dollar. Who got short on the pound dollar Friday? I know a lot of you did. A lot of people did. But not us, not in CTM. This entry is high because when I took the trade, we were trading up here. I put my entry below these wicks, waiting for a stop run. This bearish candle right here was my support. Boom. There it is. Let me go show you what it looked like. What it ended up being on the day. Great British Pound, USD. All right, so everybody's short this thing. I'm short. I'm not short it, but I mean, obviously the bears are in control. But I took a day trade. I was looking for the intraday daily range to get bigger, and it did. Right there. That was that high. I took first profits off in front of that high right there. This was that dotted line entry that you've seen on the chart. I put a limit order halfway between these wick lows down to this 5-minute candle, and I have my stop below the low of that 5-minute candle. And there's about 10 people in here right now that can verify that this happened in real time in front of their eyes. Took that trade, boom, took profits. That was a great trade. Risk to reward was in my favor. 52 pips on the day. So I don't look to buy highs. I look to buy the pullbacks if I'm bullish on an asset. This was just a day trade, so I was only looking for an intra-daily range to expand to the upside. I wasn't looking for a swing trade for a gazillion pips. Because if you look at a daily chart, you can clearly see that the bears are in control of this asset because here was your last support. You closed below it. You are retesting it. I got long in anticipation of that support level being tested. Now, obviously, people are going to short this because it held below. And it may be a good short. In my opinion, come Monday, this is obviously 2 waves to the downside. I mean, you don't want to buy highs. So back to hot. There's nothing to do. Back to the other one we were just looking at, the George or Dorch or whatever. You don't buy stuff up in hot. Storage, STORJ, BTC. You got to wait for pullback. All right, this thing is insane. Yeah, you could jump in leverage to the hilt right now and hope to God that it keeps going higher, or you can just wait and become a sniper like me and wait for this thing to cool off and then look for support to get found, then target the wick high. Right now, it's looking like it's wanting to stop some people out, and it's getting ready to. All right, it is getting ready to. There is the target. There is your first area of resistance. Let's see what happens when it tests it live on YouTube. Boom, there is your resistance. I'm going to take a drink while we watch this. Looks like it's going to try to head higher. Let's see if it can. So why would you want to buy up here? Sellers are entering this market right now, whether they're taking profits or if they're short sellers with their stops above this wick. I would not be shorting this either. You're going to get ran over, in my opinion. This has got a lot of momentum to the upside. A lot of momentum to the upside. So I wouldn't be trying to get in front of that short. But there really isn't nothing to do, especially up here. I mean, if you're looking for like a day trade, my friend, look for this level right here. Look for this level right here for like tonight or tomorrow morning. 4441 Satoshis. As long as you're not closing 5-minute candles below that level, then you can target whatever high it puts in up here. All right, there's just really nothing to do. Not tonight. Not in my opinion. But that's just me. It's extremely strong. Tons of momentum. Tons of it. Let's go look at what it looks like yearly or lifelong. It's obviously in a lifelong downtrend, but you are attempting to make a higher high. There's your monthly support. So I would absolutely be watching that price. What is that price? Let's get rid of this. 5172. See what happens there. First swing trade, possibly. See how far we are away from that. Not far. Yeah, man. It's got a lot of strength. If you bought it down here, congratulations. Don't try to buy it up here. And definitely do not try to short this thing. Definitely. Because these people are getting ready to get stopped out. Put that daily level back up there. That's how I trade. I look to enter stuff like this and I aim at stuff like that. And then I get out of my trade because that is the trade. The run up into it is the trade. This all now is professionals like me taking profit. That's why it's getting very, very volatile around this level. They're taking profits and short sellers are jumping in there. So see where it closes. Does it close this day? You got 1 hour and 29 minutes on this candle. Are you closing higher or are you closing lower? If you're closing lower, look for a retest of around 3863. Apologies, 3863. That's where I would possibly be looking for the next area of support for your next leg to the upside if real buyers are in this thing. It's very extremely volatile. Hopefully you got in that lower, man. Kudos. Thoughts on Litecoin? I've done Litecoin like 4 times. I think that's an old message though, because so is Chiliz. I did that too. Yeah, it is an old message. Simple ETH analysis. Price targets next week. Did I not do ETH? I'm getting confused. Hang on, man. What's up? Check XAU. All right, I'll check gold. I'm not at the bottom of the chat, so you know what I'm saying? I apologize. I'm all the way up here. I'm going through everybody's messages. I will check XAU for you so you can settle down. Solrak. XAU USD. Let's give it a check. So there's your daily chart on gold. Gold's not looking so fly. You did get your daily break above here, and you did get a test, but you're trading range bound. It looks like the sellers are coming right back in the mix on this thing. I know why everybody's wanting to get long gold. This is a bottom. It did put in a bottom down here. We were looking for gold to put in a bottom, but in my opinion, that move has already happened. Now it's time to let gold situate itself and see if it can make a higher low. Where are you looking for a higher low? Well, let's get rid of all these lines. And what did I just do? I just screwed everything up, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. All right. Great. That's all right. We can fix that. We'll go over here and I'll fix that later. All right. Here we go. Gold. I'll show you where you look. There is nothing to do on gold right now. XAU USD. It's not the right one. I said XAU USD. There we go. Get rid of the drawings, please. All right, so you see this was your resistance. You broke above it, but you were unable to make higher highs. You have since closed back below it. You are all week last week testing that level as resistance, and it is successfully holding as resistance. So your first area of support is all the way down here at 1703 spot 120. You wait for gold to come to here, as long as you're not closing daily candles below that level, and I don't mean the first one, second one. All right, then you know support has been held. Then you look for entries, bullish entries on, well, the thing is bullish on the weekly and the monthly chart. It's not so bullish on the daily chart, right? Has it found a bottom here? It's absolutely possible. You got 3 days left on this monthly candle. If this monthly candle closes green, that will be absolutely phenomenal, in my opinion, for gold. But it has to do that first. As of right now, sellers are eating this thing up. Is this a fake out move to the downside? Has it found lower high support? Possibly. Possibly. Right there it is. Right? That bearish candle. Possibly. Possibly. So, do you want to buy it now? Well, what you can do Monday morning, Tuesday morning, whenever you wish, when price pulls back into the 1726 level, look to see if that area holds a support. What you can then do is target that wick high. Boom. Stop below the low of that bearish candle. That would put you a nice 4 or 5 to 1 risk to reward, targeting that candle there, looking for the monthly candle to close green. But as of right now, I would not, because like I said, I don't know, man. It's a dollar story right now, gold. Hope that helps. Can you trade leverage BTC on TradingView like Oanda can be traded? I live in America, Egel, and you cannot trade BTC on Oanda in America on TradingView. No, you cannot. That was a demo account. I just took that demo trade to basically show everybody that watched this video how I trade, what I'm looking for when I execute real trades, real money account. I can't do that on a fake account. I don't show my legitimate positions because I was told not to by a lawyer. So it's okay for me to show a paper trading account, but not real account. Some people do it, but I'm not doing it. I'm not even going down that road. The information that I'm telling everybody, there's so many people that's learning this stuff. It's great. I mean, if you just follow it, you're going to be fine. It'll keep you on the right side of the market. Yeah, you're welcome, Solrak. Now I got to go back up there because I missed a lot of people. my girl came in and kicked the door down and said, please answer this guy's question. All right, and Jose, let me go make sure I'm not passing anybody up. Andre Broussard, best technical analysis training right here. Thanks, Heath. You are more than welcome, my friend. It is true. It is true. It is the best. I ain't even lying or exaggerating. All right, yeah. All right, so let me go back down here. CHG. Z Juice says CHG needs to close above. Let's go see what CHZ is. Finex. Extremely bullish. Extremely bullish. Yeah, that's right, Juice. You see what I see, my friend. You are fighting with resistance. Definitely need that close above, my friend. See, I don't even have to tell you. You already know. Good job, Juice. Good job. Not in it. I love BTC. I love BTC too, Cassidy. Best technical analysis. Oh, already read that. CHG. Looking. Yep. Price action analysis for Dent, please. Dent. Yes. Let me go check Dent. That without the thing in front of it would be better. Tether Bitcoin. Yeah, let's look at Tether, as that is the dollar. looking pretty bullish. There's a lot of these things blowing up. A lot of them. I don't know if this is an NFT or whatnot, but there's a lot of stuff blowing up. There is no, like, this is going to be me basically telling the same thing. As of right now, the risk is to the downside. And the reason why is because you're unable to close an 8-hour candle above resistance. Right there's your resistance. All right. I didn't say that's resistance. This 8-hour candle closing price says this is resistance. And you can clearly see it because you haven't been able to close an 8-hour back above that level. So in my opinion, the risk is to the downside on this asset right now. There is a small level right there at 97869, but it is a doji and I don't like them. So what I would do is I would watch this bearish close, as that is your support, or maybe support. We don't know how price is going to react if it even gets back down there. But if it does, then if it holds that level of support, you can possibly look for bullish entries. I would definitely not look for bullish entries in this range at all, because you have to get your stop at least down to the bottom of this low of that candle. You have to, because that is your last support level. So as long as price is trading above that, there's really nothing to do until you, at least if to the bullish side, you get your 8-hour closure back above 10.8370 or whatever it is, 10.8370, then you can look for a higher low support area. Then you look for bullish entries. But until you get that, the risk is to the downside. They have won. The sellers have won the day, right? Because you have not been able to close above that. So like I said, first level, the first area that you may find support at is 98009. I'll go ahead and throw this on there, but it's just, I don't like it because it's a doji. So see if you hold this level of support. Would I dare? Absolutely not. I would want price to show me, once again, that it is not able to go below there and close. Because if you do get that lower close, you're going to test this bearish close and then this bearish close, because the bears are in control. Now, where would I be looking for this to break down? I would much rather buy it down here, because all these people will be stopped out. Right? Doji. But that's your first level. Right there. That's where I would like to buy it, if I was going to buy it. And I cannot grab this line right there. 76236. Boom. Stopped everybody out. Maybe find support there. You find support there, in my opinion, might be a good entry. Target that wick high. Target that wick high. Dump now. I don't know what he's saying. Dump now. Let me see if there's even something dump, but I appreciate the dump now. Or no, Bitcoin maybe dumping? I don't know. There's no ticker symbol for dump. Let me go look at Bitcoin real quick. It's not dumping. It's failing at 4-hour resistance, but we already made the move that I was looking for. At this point, there is no high probable area on Bitcoin, right? You're testing resistance. You must wait for another support test. SRKUSDT, absolutely. Uniswap or KuCoin? Let's go with KuCoin. It's holding as support. It's holding support. It's found support and it's holding support currently. You were trading way below it, but I love that. You see how that daily candle is moving right back up? You got 1 hour and 18 minutes on this daily close. You close above 1729. That's about as much proof as you need. But on a 4-hour chart, I mean, you did not close below that support right there, right? No closure below that. So look for a retest of 1646. If this level fails, all right, if 1729 fails, look for a test of 1646. Watch what happens there. That is your last 4-hour closing price. It's lower than all of that nonsense. It's even lower than that. So, yeah. Did they buy this? Possibly. Possibly. This is what you want to see. Something like this. Especially, well, you did not clear out those stops, but that's close enough. I'm sure if anybody bought it here, when this wick came back into their position, they hit the road, Jack. More than likely, because it's easy to shake out new traders. Easy. Watch that line right there. You get that closure. Look for a retest of this level right here, and I would possibly be looking for long entries. It looks good. It's good. So you came down, you made your close, a lower close even. So yeah, you did break back above your last area. So this is currently testing to see if that level holds a support. You are at a very, very important level. You do have resistance right above you. I would much rather wait for this thing to push higher and then let it roll back over and then buy it off of the closing price or the opening price of this daily. That would be a great risk reward entry for, in my opinion. I would take that trade because as of right now, you are taking out that it's 4 hour. It's not really nothing. That's your daily level. You got to get above that. Got to. Yeah, got to. Because I've watched these candles my whole, forever, man. I've literally watched hourly candles be like big, massive, bullish candles. And then 2 minutes before the close, boom, close as a bearish candle. That's why I always say it's important to wait on closures. It's even on the lower time frames because, I don't know. It's important to wait on them. It's what I found that works. It works for me, so I use it, and I'm teaching you. You're all good. Thank you, James, for saying that. Yep, thanks. Second, Jose. Thoughts on Harmony? We looked at Harmony. AYE. I don't know if he's just saying, hey. Yeah, I think he's just saying hi. Whoa, CHGZ. Shit, it's hard for me to say that word. CHZ. Just hit 54. Heath, you're navigating of the live chart or live chat of these streams. You're rad for trying to get us all. By the way, it's nice to see the numbers growing. Yeah, the channel is growing every single day. Every single day. The support, the subscribes get bigger. The numbers just are going up on a nice growing equity curve. It's a beautiful thing to see. It's insane how much data YouTube gives you to look at. And it's all going in the right direction. So, and in my opinion, it will. It started out to just be answering questions for CTM. It is starting to grow into a YouTube channel. So we will see how it goes. I'm going to keep rocking it. Or trying to anyways. Thank you guys for being here. Especially my mods. Tom's my boy. Laugh is nice. Thank you. Check XA. Oh, I did that. Yep. Appreciate the education. See you back in the end. All right. I can confirm pound US dollar, says Jonathan Terry. Yeah, so can a lot of people. We killed that trade Friday. And I was 4 for 5. I was 4 for 5 on Forex trades last week and the week prior. So, nice soul rack. Appreciate it. On getting wrecked on ETH, I made an emotional trade. Primal American. It's important that you understand that you made an emotional trade because this is a learning experience for you. You now know what not to do. Do not trade with emotions. Do not chase price. Chasing price is the one thing that wrecked me the most as a new trader. I see a big green candle, I'm like diving in that thing with as much leverage as I could put on because I have to quit my job tomorrow. It never works, man. It never works. Let price come to you. Start trading like the professionals. Don't be chasing stuff. If you miss a move, you miss a move. You know what I mean? There's so many opportunities in this market every single day. Like you can't even count them all. You don't have to chase price no more. You have found the place to be. SNX, USD, and GRT. Yep. Let me go look at SNX real quick. This live stream is getting a little long in the tooth, but I will check out a few more. Good night, Janet. Thank you for being here. Let me go back up and find that. SNX. I know it was SNX, USD, and then GRT. SNX, USD, and then GRT. And then I'll getting ready to close her up. Let's go look at a daily. So you did get your close below this level. So it's not exactly great, but it's not bad either, because ultimately you're still in a bull. Well, I don't know if you're still in a bull trend or not. It'd be kind of hard to put a bull trend line on that chart. Maybe if you went from this wick to there, but at that point you're just trying to bend the will of the market to fit your analysis. So in my opinion, like if you put a fib on the entire move of this thing, you are not quite below the 618. You can see right there that held as support, but unfortunately it's making lower highs and lower lows. All right, so the risk on this asset is to the downside. I would assume that a test of 18.026 will be met with heavy selling, but if you get a daily closure back above that level, then you can look for maybe higher low support forming, possibly. As of right now, the risk is to the downside on SNX USD. Let's go look at GRT USD. And this looks a little better, as it's still maybe holding an ascending trend line. Not from that candle, from that candle. There you go. So until you break below that, you're still looking decent. You did take out your your support to the downside. That was your support. You are currently retesting that support. All right. So I wouldn't do anything on GRT USD until you got up to about 179. Prove to me that you can close a daily candle above all this nonsense, and then I might look for higher low support. All right. But as of right now, the risk is still to the downside. You are testing old support. It has turned into resistance so far. This bullish candle is nice, and the fact that this thing may be turning around midpoint of that bullish candle could move to the upside. But you will find resistance again at 1.68609. So at that point, I want to see it higher than that. Like I said, around 181, a close about 181, then I would look for higher low support. All right? Until that happens, I wouldn't do much on this. Wouldn't do much. Because this is a fresh breakdown. You are just now testing it. Since you traded away from the level, you're just now testing it. So, yeah. It's kind of like, I would let it slide. I would let it slide. I would find something else. There's no ticker symbol for dump. No, there is not, Kimberly. Remember, emotions don't pay your bills. They are worth the same amount you would pay for them. Nothing. Watch the pattern. Yeah. I mean, the candles, in my opinion, tell you everything you need to know. If you're watching support and resistance, horizontal support and resistances, look for bullish trades. But when I say that, I don't mean just blindly buy certain areas. It takes a little bit of time, guys, but I promise you, if you start listening to what I'm talking about, you start seeing it play out day after day after day. I got a whole list of trade recaps on my videos where I'm showing you. And those are all live fun trades, like boom, boom. They were getting annoying. They don't get much views because it's almost like I'm bragging, but I'm not. It's basically just to say, look, I do this every single day in and day out, week in and week out, year in and year out. And you can too. You just got to simplify your analysis. Simplify it. You'd be so surprised how much it helps. All right, guys, I got to kick it, man. I've been on this thing for over an hour and a half, or almost an hour and a half. I started at 5 at 6:50, or over an hour and a half. So, yep, Brand. Oh, yeah. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you. Yeah, tomorrow night I will not be doing an FX live or an FX weekly outlook. I will be going live on Brandon Crypto Trades and Tech's channel tomorrow night. Me and him will be live at the same time. He is inviting me over there, so there is where I will be. If you are not subscribed to Brandon Crypto Trades and Tech, if you scroll down on my YouTube page, you can see his name down there next to Jordan's. Subscribe to both of those channels. It will be around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so about an hour and 8 minutes from now. All right. Hey, if you like your friends, share the channel with them. Yeah, I guess I could do that, right? That does make a little bit of sense. Give me 1 second, I'll plop it down in there for you. That makes sense. Like I said, I'm new at the whole YouTube thing, man. New. I don't know what I should say and what I should do half the time. But here's Brandon's channel. This is where I will be tomorrow night. Make sure you come check it out. And then here's Jordan's channel. So that way if you want to subscribe to him, if you're not already, both of these guys kill it. Both of these guys kill it. Yep, so that's pretty much it, guys. I am with them out shortly, so you guys make sure you trade safe, trade smart, and happy trading, everybody.